Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Mischief TV. Alright, this one's just going to be pretty quick. I'm just kind of walk you guys through how we're going to wire in our fuel gauge here. This is just going to be the episode. I'm just going to try to help anybody that's trying to do this, because I've seen a couple videos, but none are quite like this. This is just the generic Amazon fuel gauge you can get. It's got the two wires up here, which is power and ground, and then you've got power here, ground for the actual dial here, and then we've got S. I'm not sure what that's for, but I know we got to tap into the power wire from here. So I'm assuming power, ground from the battery, and maybe the power wire here will tell us. I don't know. I'm going to kind of mock it up and we'll figure it out. We're going to do this together. So let's get into it. All right, because how we have this wired up in our previous episode, when we hooked the fuel pump into the switch panel up front, we've got our 10 amp fuse. So we're just going to trace this red wire. I know where it goes, all the way up front. It goes to the fuel gauge switch up here. Not the fuel gauge switch, the fuel pump switch, excuse me, which we're going to make the switch to also turn on the fuel, the fuel gauge here. Sorry, I've been a bit sick the last couple of days, so I apologize. I'm not sure when this video will come out. It'll probably come out in the next week or two. So I just apologize if I sound a little bit out of it. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. So I'm gonna I got one here, and I got two on the sides here that I gotta take out. This will come out, and then I'll pop the switch panel out, and we'll get to the fuel wire here so I can hook this gauge up and see if I am right. I am a man of great ideas. So while we have the switch panel apart, because I'll need it apart, I'm going to tap into the tachometer wires. We're going to use the power and the ground and the illuminate. So the only one we won't touch is the green one for the RPMs. We're going to use power, ground, lights for the one up here. We'll be able to ground it out, sorry. And then I'll still have to tap into that fuel pump wire from the switch. And this might be able to tell us, or I might have to tap into the other wire. I'm not sure which one I have to tap into, but we'll at least get it, power and grounded, get the lights to work, and then we'll go from there. Fingers crossed. Always remember, before you do any kind of wiring, pop the power. Always the power, never the ground, because you can always ground it to anything. You can't always get power from everything. So what I'm going to do, now that I just wanted to make sure I'd noted that, guys, because I don't think I mentioned it before, I'm going to start stripping these out. I got them cut, and we'll get them tapped into some two-way connectors here. Get them tapped back in, and we'll run just some tiny little bit of wire to the gauge here so it'll set where it needs to. I just got to get a couple ring terminals on the wires here, so let me get some wires cut. Wow, I'm sorry. And yeah, we'll see you in a second. All right, let me keep you up to date what's going on here. So I got the ground from the light here, and I got the ground from the bottom down here, and I got the ground from the tack all tapped into here. I need to ground it to the wire that is coming from the body, and then I'm going to tap yellow into red for the light. That's the illuminate to the power illuminate. I need to take this red, put get another wire, put a little ring terminal on it, tap it in just like we did this one, and then we have to get the other wire. But right now I'm just trying to hook up the power, ground, and lights. We'll do the easy ones, and then we'll go on to the actual gauge wire. Stop. Whatever you're doing, stop. Go to themischiefstore.com. Make sure you check out our website. Check out all the cool merch. There's lots of cool stuff. There's even more stuff coming. Thank you. Bye-bye. Enjoy the video. All right, it's not pretty. I need to get some heat shrink and some tape. We'll be able to slide it on because I can take these ring terminals back off. But we got yellow to power, which is the illuminate, to illuminate back to the tack and illuminate to this. We've got power tapped in here. This is the only one that I'm questionable, so I can yank it real quick. Ground is tapped in, so hypothetically I should be able to hook the battery up, turn the key, and the fuel gauge should try to read, but there won't be anything to read, but at least it should light up with the switch. So we're gonna go ahead and test that now. All right, you can see the tack there kind of screwed up from when I did earlier, but I should be able to turn the key now that we have the battery reattached, and the tack tries to read. Let's see if the fuel gauge does anything. I don't see any movement. Let's just try the light here. Hey, the light comes on. So, I mean, it has power and ground, so we need to get our signal wire hooked into it, and then I should be able to put everything back together, maybe. We're a lot closer than we were, that's for sure. And I've been tapping into wires. You can see I tapped into the white one. Now I'm tapped into the green one. Got our wire run all the way up front here. And then if I take it very carefully and touch it against that post, you can see the fuel gauge on, off. So this is gonna be our wire. So I'm gonna go ahead and kill the power here. Make sure the battery's disconnected again. We're gonna get proper connections on everything, and we'll run this all the way up through the dash here, and we'll get it tapped in. So I will catch you guys in about 10 minutes when I get more done. All right, you can see the pink quick connect I've got on there. It's just one of these little wire quick connects. Let me pull one out of here. You put the long wire through the outside and the short wire to the inside, like the one that we were connecting. So we wanted it onto the green wire, put the red one on the inside, right? And we slide this one on the outside like that, and then you'd crimp it down, make it tight. I already did that. So that wire is nice and tight. I'm gonna get a ring terminal on it up here, tapped into the fuel gauge, get a nice connection onto these, kind of tuck some of the wires away, and yeah, it should be working. We'll have to put some more gas in to double check, but fingers crossed, right? We got this to work. And that looks pretty. You can hear the crickets because it's starting to get dark out here. But if I connect the power, connected, and then we flip the switch. Oh, that's beautiful. Almost out of gas. Yep, that's what I expected. But it works. Here, let me show you again. Ready? Off. Beautiful. And I didn't even have to do all this, so I'm gonna put all this away. What we did is we just used the tachometer wiring, so I'm going to probably pull a little bit of wiring out so I can mount this back up because I didn't realize how tight it was. And then we'll get the switch panel back in place, and I'll put a little bit of gas in it. We'll make sure it's reading correct, and yeah, we might be done. All right, not my prettiest work ever, and with a little bit of afterthought, I should have run these on the inside, but it is what it is. It still looks pretty nice. And I should be able to flip the switch, or the key here, and yeah, you see we're getting a fuel gauge reading. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some more gas in it, just a little bit, see if it makes a difference, see if we get a different reading, and hopefully it works. All right, I put a little bit more gas in it. You can see it might have moved a little bit. I can't really tell, I didn't really put that much in it. It's starting to get real dark. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the interior back together, put the cap back on the fuel cover cap back on the fuel pump back there over the hatch. And then we'll probably go get gas tomorrow and make sure it actually works. I'd say it works. I'm pretty happy with that. We'll get gas tomorrow. I'm gonna park it, let it warm up a little. There we go. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna park it. We'll go get gas tomorrow probably and make sure it's working. But yeah, we done good.
Eventually.
All right, guys, so it's been about 2 days since I did all that wiring for the fuel gauge here. It's looking, wrong angle here. Looking very pretty, looking very nice. So we didn't end up going to get gas, but I did put a decent amount of gas into the gas tank from my little handheld gas can, and it made the gauge go up. So the gauge does work. I'm very happy about that. And instead of going to the gas station and spending money on this, we went to a festival. We had fun on that. So I really enjoyed going to the festival, and that's why we didn't film a lot the last couple of days. And now it's Tuesday. Now the video's got to go out, but fuel gauge does work. What we did was we tapped into the reading wire, the signal wire in the back. That's what the S was for. Got the power, the ground, the light signal from the switch. Basically just wired most of it through the tach and then ran a separate wire. It works really well. Here, let me show you. I've gone ahead and hooked the battery up. So if I turn the key, it'll automatically read, and then it'll take a second, and the needle will actually float to where it needs to be. But yeah, it is very low. All right, we got that done. And then I also didn't film much because it was very simple. I got a digital battery gauge kind of drilled in here. It's not very pretty. I need to clean it up some, but it is kind of in here, and it just reads the digital output. So like, I'll turn the key on here, and then I'm getting 11.9 volts with all the systems on. If I turn the key off, this will actually still read. It is reading a little bit low, but it will start right up. and that's just so I can read the voltage off the amp and the bass back there, and the voltage gauge up here, the analog gauge up here. So, I mean, it works. I don't really love it, but I need to clean it up a little bit, like I said, but it does this job. It works pretty well. The fuel gauge also works. Like I said, we went to a festival. We didn't film a lot. Now we got to get the video out. It's Tuesday. So I'm going to show you what we didn't get a lot filmed on. You know, it's kind of my fault we didn't get a lot filmed on. But I'll show you what we did get done on the Firebird yesterday and the past couple days. We got a lot done on the Firebird. So please stick with me. I know this video is kind of going from, woo, it's like a roller coaster and it's kind of all over the place. Just stay with me.
We're sending you back to the future.
All right, Hunter here again. So the last couple of videos you guys have seen on the Firebird haven't blown up that much, and that's okay with me. We're doing it for the fun of it. We're trying to document how far we've gotten on the Firebird, and as of right now, we've got the engine block torn apart, new head gaskets installed, got everything back together, got the throttle body hooked back up. Pretty much everything engine-wise is ready to go. Tristan hooked up the battery and everything yesterday and primed it with some oil. We're working on draining all the old fuel out, as you're about to see, and then once we put new fuel in it, we got to reconnect all the coolant systems, like the thermostat. We got to reconnect the radiator, the fans, all the coolant in it. Just that, pretty much just the cooling system is left, and then after that, we'll be good to fire it. So that'll probably be in the next couple of videos. I mean, I'd stay real tuned for that because the Firebird is so close. I mean, Tristan's car is 98% there. I mean, it's really just a cooling system left. So enjoy these couple clips, and yeah.
This is fun. I'm at 3/4 of a tank.
We're gonna be here a while. Yeah. There's a reason we're not filming a lot of this, because it's a lot of this.
Got wash fluid lines fixed though.
Yeah, we got the washer fluid lines fixed. That's about it. I mean, that's not it, but for simple things, that's it. Water pumps back on, tension's back on, power steering pumps back on. We'll do more filming when we're not doing stupid stuff like this. Really hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you did, make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment. I really enjoy all of your guys' messages and seeing you guys like my videos. I put a lot of effort into them, even though this one doesn't seem like it. It took me probably 2 or 3 days to film and edit. If you guys want to see the snowmobile or the four-wheeler, which I haven't done a video on yet, make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. I know I just said all that, but I'm making sure you guys heard me the first time. Subscribe, because these videos will all be posted. I post one every week. If it's not every week, it's every other week. So make sure you guys subscribe. I will see you guys all very soon. Bye-bye.